I'm very sorry because the screen shows that he is here. The Honorable Omboko Milemba, member for Emuhaya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me a chance to weigh in on this bill by Honorable, which tries to mitigate the challenges that are in the border, not only border, but both two-wheeled and three-wheeled. Three-wheeled would refer to what we call the tuk-tuk motor vehicles on our roads. Honorable Speaker, in my opinion, there must have been a gap, and all the time we make laws to fill gaps that are existing. And the Honorable Member saw clearly that there was a gap in existence insofar as regulation of these two-wheeled and three-wheeled vehicles was concerned. And that is why he came up with this particular law. We have been told by the chair of the committee and the committee members that there's an existing law which has not been implemented. But when you look at the dire situation that the border and all that section of the three-wheel, two-wheel vehicles require and urgently need, then you realize that the Honorable Member had a serious reason and has done everything correct in order to see to it that this sector is regulated. In my own county, Honorable Speaker, and a constituency in Muhaya, there's a very well organized border arrangement, and with their general chairman at the county level. But severally they have visited me. The last time they spoke to me, they were telling me that they have a policy that is lying within the assembly of the county government. And the county government is unable to do anything about that particular policy. But that policy would bring about self-regulation and order within the sector. Partly, Honorable Speaker, why this is happening is because the border regulation has never been implemented, if it is there. It's now for the first time after this Honorable Member has brought about this matter that now we are being told, and now we are aware, that there's a regulation which is not implemented. But Honorable Speaker, even the law that is governing this sector, by the time it was made, there were certain things that had not happened within this sector of border. For instance, the law that is existing and which has been talked about by the committee very clearly was made much earlier than the time when border became a passenger carrier. During that particular time, the piki or border were not carrying passengers. And at the same time, the tuk-tuk were not possibly carrying passengers and they were not in the country. Making of laws must be a dynamic process which is driven by need. And I think this is why the Honorable Member has brought this particular bill to this particular House. That things have changed since the time when you saw the piki not carrying passengers. Now they are carrying passengers. Look at this. That how is the licensing of a PSV motor vehicle driver done? There's a certain threshold of experience that this person must have in order to get a license. And this is because this particular person is going to carry human beings, and therefore they need to have some extraordinary assessment of his skills in driving. What about border? We don't have a threshold because we don't have policy, we don't have regulation, and regulation, if it's existing like we have been told, is not implemented. So I think there is really need to consider this law on the floor of this House very, very fairly, without simply saying that there's duplication of the law. Honorable Speaker, if you go to Thailand, for instance, this border industry is not only a Kenyan situational problem or challenge. In Thailand, where the population is about 47 million people, there are over 30 million borders on the road. But there's no any disagreement or disorder in Thailand courtesy of borders on the road. In Kenya, where we have 47 million Kenyans existing here, Honorable Speaker, and the House should listen to this, we only have 5 million borders on the road. But we are really complaining that there's chaotic, every complaint, yet this is a sector that is driving the local economy back at home. In fact, in my own county, whenever I meet the borders, I tell them that you have taken over the teachers. Formerly in the 1970s, 80s, there were teachers who controlled the local economy. Today, It is Boda Boda that controls the local economy. So to bring order within this particular sector, this law was not a bad law. When I rose on a point of order against senior counsel, Honorable Speaker, I did not want to interfere with senior counsel, but I wanted to ask senior counsel, who spoke just after me.
Senior counsel, are you referring to? This house has many senior counsels.
Senior most. The senior most who is here and who spoke on this matter, Honorable Speaker, as you have been told clearly, this is the senior most. I wanted him to bring out a clarity between the issue of duplication, because the only challenge to this law would be duplication. And I was hoping that you should be listening, senior counsel, that in the event that there's duplication of the law that is on the floor of the House, and that is in existence, then we would make a decision on that. But where it is not existing, this is a very good law. It should go to the third reading. And in that particular level, of course, as we usually do, the owner of this particular bill will sit with the committee and they will harmonize the amendments that will be there. And we can pick every good item in this particular law and incorporate in the existing law. This will help the sector, and it will be very good for this particular house and the particular sector of Boda Boda. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, the Boda Boda sector is in dire need of good regulation, because they are doing good work. And if they are regulated, like I've indicated, there are only 5 million of them properly regulated. We need even to have as many as 25 to 30 million Boda Bodas operating in this country, well regulated, earning an income and supporting the economy, and everything working very, very, very good. And that's the way we shall grow our economy. With those few or many remarks, I submit and support this particular bill. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, I can see several members raising their hands, but I would like to ask you to allow me to balance both sides of the House. So this opportunity goes to the member for Alego Usonga, the Honorable Samuel Atandi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to